Nadim Manawy from Arise. Nadim, take the stage.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nadim, co-founder of Arise, and we build technology to create distributed networks for hotels and the ecosystem of product and services around them. So we all travel and use many of the known websites and apps that are out there. And let's be honest, booking a hotel nowadays is a pretty easy and straightforward process. But if we look at how things work behind the scenes and how data moves between hotels and companies actually selling their rooms, it's not nearly as simple. You see, it's very difficult for most companies that sell hotel rooms to build direct connectivity to hotels and establish agreements. And therefore, to access hotels' availability and rates, they have no other choice than to connect to intermediate networks that have been pieced together over the years, each with their own APIs, data formats, local cache. So definitely not ideal. And not only are these intermediate networks expensive, they also hold back innovation and create many problems and inefficiencies. So things like caches getting out of sync, hotel data being inconsistent across networks, no visibility into where rates end up getting sold, and the list goes on and on here. So both my co-founder and I spent 4+ years at a cloud PMS company based in San Francisco. So we know how a hotel operates, but we've also seen how things are inefficiently patched together behind the scenes. And we're changing that. We're building distributed networks that will be the most direct, efficient, and transparent path for data to flow between hotels and connected industry partners, bypassing existing intermediaries while providing superior flexible connectivity free of charge. And these networks have no central servers or single point of failure. They're built out of connected nodes run by our partner that are in constant communication with each other, keeping each node's local cache of hotel room, rate, and booking data always in sync across the network. And you see, together, these nodes run a distributed application that has similar functionality to a traditional CRS, central reservation system. And this architecture removes the need for a centralized business logic and data storage. And so as a result, we're able to drastically reduce the network infrastructure and maintenance costs. And also, the auditability of a distributed ledger removes us completely from the support chain, as it gives all network participants a clear picture of who updated what at any time. So no more blame shifting between service providers whenever something goes wrong due to a total lack of transparency into each other's system. And so really, our technology creates a single auditable source of truth that all connected parties can rely on. And so compared to some other projects that you might have heard of, we really focus on improving hotel connectivity and distribution with solutions that bring value starting today, and with an emphasis on efficiency, security, and privacy. And so to start, we're focusing on specific applications of the technology. The first gives hotels more visibility and control over the onward distribution of their rates and inventory. So hotels can now build their own private distribution network and are able to dynamically adjust rates, availability, and even send different content to each connected partners, making it now super easy to automatically track the source of net rates or private rates that end up in places they were not supposed to whenever one of the partners decides to break contract. And every change a hotel makes automatically syncs with each connected partner's local node and cache. Because, yeah, each node has a built-in cache. So hotel CRS are actually protected from high query loads, and hotels won't need to scale their IT system as the network grows. And really, all it takes is one hotel with one of their partners to set up a private network between them. And then from the beginning, they can start transacting directly and bypass intermediaries. And there can be an unlimited number of private networks like this, but they can also all be joined together as they all run on the same technology and have the same capabilities. And the second use case we're focusing on at this time is with distributors who are currently selling hotel inventory already through intermediaries. So they work with like wholesalers, affiliate networks, GDS, and so on. And so distributors are like small, mid-sized OTAs, corporate travel companies, chatbot solutions, and so on. And so we have a plugin that allows them to get up and running on the network in less than 30 minutes with no integration or development required. And then we help them get direct connectivity to hotels that are relevant to them by building a record of aggregate demand that let us show hotels how much money they're currently losing to intermediaries for bookings these partners already produce for them. And then as soon as the hotel service providers, PMS, CRS, channel manager, connect to the network, hotels will then be able to transact directly with those partners and therefore increase their profit as they'll basically cut one or multiple players in the middle right now. And so with this use case, we actually automate the commission payment process, which is how we make money, by keeping a percentage that our network automatically transfers, the commission amount automatically transfers between the hotels and distributors. So obviously, the more transactions taking place on the network, the better for us. And so as we speak, we're currently load testing the network with live search and booking traffic for our initial distribution partners. And we've also just released our public-facing API, so people can actually start building to us. So you can go check it out on our website. So yeah, if you haven't been in touch with us yet, please do so, as we'd love to tell you more and see your business start benefiting from our technology as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nadim. Well done. Over to the stool.
So if I'm an intermediary, why would I sign up for this? I mean,
if you're whom? Sorry?
If I'm an intermediary, an OTA, whatever, why would I sign up for this? Because a lot of what I do is based on the noise that I can find in the system that you're trying to take out of the system. I get it as a hotelier. As an OTA, I'm not sure I'd be so psyched.
So are you, because again, intermediaries, they're different people. Some people consider OTAs intermediaries. I don't call OTAs intermediaries. So really what I mean by intermediaries are people who are simply relaying information between the supply source, so it's coming from the PMS, CRS, or directly channel manager, that are connecting to the end customer, the travelers. So basically we're talking about the affiliate networks, wholesalers, switches, potentially even GDSs. So those are the ones I mean. So for example, the Booking or Expedia are not the ones we're going after. Potentially, yes, like people who rely on their affiliate network to access the supply of the hotel, that is a problem, because hotels still pay X% commission to Expedia.
So it's commissionable inventory that you're going after?
We can handle both. So both the wholesaler model on net rates with markups and commissionable. So it's like we'll be able to handle both.
So this is a really big idea, right? I mean, and it's an elegant narrative that is just going to have to create so much energy to achieve any kind of escape velocity. How are you going to overcome the inertia in this massive concentrated market?
That's why we're taking an incremental approach, because obviously you cannot just blow everything up and expect people to do it. So that's
but you have a chicken and the egg problem. You have to create a network, and an incremental that doesn't work, right? It's going to collapse under its own weight.
And so that's why we're taking that approach of right now, like, okay, we can actually, from the hotel side, let's solve a pinpoint. So fighting onward distribution, so basically net rates that end up in places they were not supposed to, is a big problem that hotels won't actually resolve. So we can help them get going on that part. But otherwise, chicken and egg problem, it's going to be a lot of back and forth between building distribution and supply. So right now, we're basically able to gather all of these small, mid-size OTAs, or again, some are corporate travel companies, chatbots and whatnot. On one side, we gather all the information from them. I mean, we anonymize it all. We don't care about guest information or payment. It's really just, we need to know where they send bookings to, basically, and at what rates. So then hotels, now we can show them an actual number of how much money they're leaving on the table, because those guys are currently relying on intermediaries, right? So that's basically like, okay, let's focus on where those guys are selling. Now you get this supply to push their providers, or we can also work with the providers directly to connect. And then you add more supply, more demand. So it's going to be a constant back and forth.
Well, now you make it sound easy.
I don't know if it's easy, but we try to make it as easy.
It's not even close to easy.
Yeah, it's not. But honestly, because both parties that matter, basically people selling the rooms right to the guest and the supply, they want a better solution and be able to share data in a much more transparent and direct way if possible. So it's easy to talk to both parties because they want to see a better solution than what exists out there. But it doesn't mean it's
How many
easy to get
installations do you have today? How many hotels are currently on the system?
So as we speak, right now we're more gathering the demand data. So it's basically onboarding a bunch of those, I was saying, distribution partners. Because as we basically start building this aggregate demand that they are basically producing to hotels, is now basically in the next coming weeks and months, we are going to now go and tackle hotels. That's on the distribution side. Regarding the onward distribution, we're talking to larger chains, basically who work with wholesalers, who have a big issue nowadays tracking this.
I heard you.
Oh.
It was a great question.
You got the hook.
You had a great question. Thank you.
Go get 'em.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.